Okay, so we have two more shortcuts to learn. It's AAS and hypotenuse leg. So in AAS, it's exactly what you would think, angle, angle, side. The difference is the side is not sandwiched. So it's angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. Or backwards. So you go 1, 2, 3, angle 1, another angle, side. So that's the AAS congruence. Then we have hypotenuse leg. There are three things that have to happen for you to use hypotenuse leg. The first thing, it has to be a right triangle. If it's not a right triangle, you cannot use this. So it has to be both of them have to be a right triangle. The second thing is that the hypotenuse of both has to be congruent. How do I know what the hypotenuse is?
There should be a line.
Well, not necessarily, but your hypotenuse is always across from your 90-degree angle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so your hypotenuse is the longest leg, and it's always across from the largest angle. Well, if we have a 90-degree angle, that's the largest angle, so the hypotenuse is across from it. So this is your hypotenuse.
So as long as it's 90 degrees, it's going to be congruent?
That's one. There's three things. It has to be a right triangle, which equals 90 degrees. Okay, the hypotenuse of both of these, which is always across from the 90-degree angle, your hypotenuse of both has to be congruent. And then you have to have one corresponding leg that's congruent on both. So it doesn't matter which leg, but one of them. In this case, you have your 90-degree angle, check. You have your hypotenuse. Both of those are congruent because they're both across from the 90-degree angle. So those are congruent, check. And then the same leg in both triangles is congruent. So you have leg, leg. So hypotenuse, right angle, one leg is, one set of legs are the same. But it doesn't have to be this leg. Like it could be this bottom leg. So that's the last shortcut.
Wait, you didn't finish that. You just said
Leg, like a set is congruent. Like you have to have a set of legs that are congruent. The hypotenuse both have to be congruent, and then the 90-degree angle. So those are the three things. A leg is like anything that's not the hypotenuse. So this is a leg, and it's congruent to this leg. This is another leg. So these two could be congruent and not these two.
So it just has to be one.
Yes, so there has to be the hypotenuse and one set of legs, but not both, just one set of legs. Okay, so let's go over here and practice. Yes, Tate?
So all it takes for the hypotenuse to be congruent is just for it to be across from the right angle? Or
These three things. Right triangle, a set of hypotenuse that are the same, and one set of legs that are the same.
right.
Three things. Okay? Alright, so in number one, you do have to tell which shortcut, and you do have to write the congruent statement. You're just using not possible, AAS, and hypotenuse leg. So right here, what can I say about these two middle angles? They're vertical. So I have angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So AAS. And triangle, what do you want to call this triangle? JKP?
Yeah.
JKP is congruent to triangle MKL. Because we started with one rainbow here, so we have to start with the one rainbow here. Okay, let's look at two. Well, first of all, I see 90 degrees, right? That should be like a huge hint. I see 90 degrees. The hypotenuse is across from your 90 degrees, and are those the same?
Yes.
Yes, and then what do I know about the leg?
They're congruent.
It's reflexive. So we can use what?
The hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse leg. You can just write HL. So triangle WXZ is congruent to triangle YXZ. What about three?
They're both right angles somehow.
Yeah, Jonathan. I heard you. Well, we know this is the same, right?
Uh-huh.
So I know my hypotenuse are the same, but are any of my legs known to be the same?
No,
No, they might be, but they didn't tell me. So if they didn't tell me, then it's
not possible.
not possible.
I'm so confused because that doesn't look like a right angle, but there's a sign for a right angle for C.
Well, it's I think it's a right angle. This leg is just shorter than this leg. Okay, number 4. This is reflexive. So what would you say?
Side, angle, side. Or angle, angle, side.
Angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So AAS. Triangle, what do you want to start with?
L.
You want to start with L and go where? LM. O is congruent to N. Well, we went to 2 rainbows to 1, so you have to go NOM. Oops, I forgot my triangle sign. Okay, y'all try 5 through 8. Or some of y'all already done.
Number 8.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what'd y'all get for 5? Well, I know a leg, and I know 90,
I put
but I
AP.
don't know the hypotenuse.
Right.
So it's not possible.
Wait, so the hypotenuse has to be,
Hypotenuse have to be, like I have to have a line knowing that they're congruent. Okay, so you can't just assume. There has to be something telling you that they're the same. Okay, 6. What do you know? Well, you see, yeah, you could use this. I might not need to, but you could. I see 90 degrees. I see the hypotenuse are the same because they're across, and they both have 1 dash. And then this leg right here, both of these legs are congruent. So I have check mark on all 3 of my things. So by hypotenuse leg, triangle, what triangle did y'all use? M-A-Y?
Yeah.
May. I like spelling words out of triangles. It's so fun. May. So if we use may, then I have to use lay. Oh, that's cool.
Hey.
Right? M-A middle,
Yeah.
L-E middle. Okay, what about 7? This is what?
Vertical.
It's reflexive. So angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. AAS. So triangle what? PKM is congruent to triangle PKM, PUM, PUM.
And that's not possible.
Well, this one is angle, angle, side. This is angle, side, angle. Even though those are both 2 shortcuts we can use, it has to be the same shortcut. Yes, Emily? I did say L-E-Y. It's okay. Not possible. Because this one is AAS and this one is ASA. They have to be the same shortcut to work. Okay, so this is where it gets just a little bit more complicated. So LO is parallel to MN. If it tells you that, it's probably wanting you to assume something about the relationships of the angles. So I know O is congruent to M, and I know these 2 are parallel. And I know what? I can actually make 3 more statements about this. Reflexive. Well, if LO is parallel to MN, so if it helps you to see it, this line is congruent to, not congruent, but parallel to this line. Well, isn't this angle congruent to this angle? Alternate interior. Well, then I have angle, angle, side, and angle, angle, side. So, by the angle, angle, side postulate, we can say triangle LMN is congruent to triangle NOL. Now, I could say this third angle, too, because third angle theorem. But remember, we can never use AAA. You can never say AAA. So that wouldn't have worked. And I didn't know anything else, but I guess I could have used, couldn't you use angle, side, angle? By third angle theorem, you could have used angle, side, angle as well. Okay, 10. XV bisects WY. So this is congruent to this. And WY, which is this one, bisects here. So this is congruent to this. Well, what 3 things do you see? 90 degrees, leg, hypotenuse. So, hypotenuse leg. So triangle XYZ is congruent to triangle X 90 vertical, V 90, so VWZ. Okay, you try 11 and 12.
Do you have a pencil? I seem to have dropped by now. See it?
Number 11 spells a really cool word, in case you're curious.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Yes.
Oh yeah, see how you've got, like, obviously they're 90, but we only know that they're congruent. How do we know that they're 90? Oh, because it's a straight line. I'm just saying.
Well, it's because it tells you it's perpendicular. Perpendicular lines always make 90-degree angles.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. No one's dumb. We're all just sleep deprived.
I'm not asleep.
Okay, 12. Here's the thing about 12. What do you see? Off the bat, what do you see?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. So you want to assume that you can use HL, right?
Yeah.
But it only tells you one segment. It only tells you your hypotenuse are congruent. So what else can I assume based on this picture? Not reflexive. Vertical. Oh, I'm sorry. I did skip 11. But I got hypotenuse leg. 12, these are vertical. So I'm actually not going to use HL because I have 90 and I have the hypotenuse, but I don't have a leg. But I can use AAS.
Wait, how did you get PR and RT?
Because QS bisects this segment. QS bisects PT. So PQR is congruent to TSR. Okay, so before you come back Monday, and people who are listening to this at home, here is practice on the back. There are 24 questions. Okay, you can use any shortcut on these 24 questions. Okay, so you have to do 2 things. You have to name the congruent triangles, and when it says why, what do you think you're going to use? Whatever shortcut. So, there are actually 6 possibilities. Why do I say there are 6?
Not possible.
Not possible. So side, angle, ASA works too. AAS or hypotenuse leg. Or not possible. Okay, so take your time. Y'all have the rest of the class to work on 24, and then if you don't finish it in class, make sure you finish it before Monday.